Are you in search of a pharmacy for all your medical needs? Check out my guy Jason Hu's Skylands Pharmacy and Compounding, located at 337 US 46 Rockaway, New Jersey, zip code 07866, serving all of New York and New Jersey. They specialize in compounding sildenafil for male erectile dysfunction, as well as semaglutide and tirzepatide for weight loss. They come to you with an amazing delivery service, so don't worry about having to come in person. Once again, check out Skylands Pharmacy and Compounding in Rockaway, New Jersey by my guy Jason Hu was the first guy to buy my merch. You can call them at 973-559-7979. That's 973-559-7979. Proud partner of the DJ Sports Show.
Like after us off, so I have your sports night, and it is a Tuesday night, so we have our Student Athlete of the Week. News Channel 3's Bailey Arredondo introduces us to a standout from Shadow Hills High.
She was not a natural born runner. She was a volleyball player, came out for track with a few other friends, and she just really got inspired with different reasons, and just put in all the dedication, the hard work, and now we're here.
Let's go! Finish the job now! Finish the job!
Lopez was born to run competitively. It just took a nudge and a few friends to find out.
When they were telling me, track is coming up, you should try it out, I was like, why would I want to be running that much? And turns out now I'm like the one obsessed with running.
Obsessed might be an understatement. She trains like it's her full-time job.
I love doing extra mileage in the morning. I can't go to school without doing 3 miles in the morning. It's just like a quick shake up.
Okay, so before you go to school, you run 3 miles. Is this how many times a week?
Like every day in the week. Yeah.
Where?
In my treadmill. I love treadmill running. Yeah, even if it's windy, I don't care. I'm like, okay, I'll just treadmill run. Yeah, that's something nobody knows about me. I love treadmill running.
She wakes up earlier than most to go put in the miles before practice, before school, and then she has the practice with us. So you really have to be dedicated, and you have to be consistent, like I said, and she is. And it shows.
No contest at all.
She's a 5-time league champion, and following this weekend, the first female track athlete to win a CIF title in school history.
I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I still don't realize it. Sometimes my parents have to tell me come on, be proud of yourself. And I'm like, I'm not done yet. I still want to keep on pushing. I'm never really satisfied, which kind of sucks.
Literally, she's been running at this level for 2 years, where a lot of athletes have been doing it since freshman year or before. So she has so much potential.
Talk about potential. Lopez is running into the next level and is committed to USC.
You have to be a student, get good grades, but I also want to compete in the biggest levels. So I hope I can make it to an NCAA championship in the future.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, DJ Hamilton of the DJ Sports Show, the sole proprietor and CEO of the DJ Sports Show. We're here with another great guest on the show today. She's a record breaker. She's a 2-time Desert Empire cross-country 3-mile champion. And she is one of the greatest runners you'll ever see, especially long distance, and current UC-Irvine athlete for the cross-country team, Marjourie Lopez. How you doing, Marjourie?
I'm great. How are you?
How you feeling about this interview?
I
know it's your first time ever doing something like this.
It's fine.
It's fine. So, Marjourie, you grew up in Indio, California, where there's a population around 90,000 people, and you lived with your parents, Samuel and Geraldine Lopez, and grew up with your brother, Javon. Describe what it was like in the household, and also describe the area in Indio, California, for people who don't know the area.
I really loved our neighborhood. I grew up with 2 best friends. I still kind of keep in contact with them, Mackenzie and Leah. But it was a really nice childhood. I definitely think experiencing my childhood with being able to knock on my friends' doors instead of just texting them and being able to hang out with them was really fun. I think it's a very hot area, but I think we made the best out of it by being able to just hang out outside instead of being on technology.
No, that's good, especially in the younger generation. I was born in 2000. My generation was kind of the last generation that really went outside. It seems like after that, not a lot of kids, they the TikTok era, Instagram, and all that. Everybody's mostly on their mobile devices and playing video games.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear someone like you, you were born in 06?
05. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're a year older than one of my younger sisters, who's freshman in college this year at Boston College.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's good to hear and refreshing to hear someone who in that generation was really outside being active.
Yeah.
When did your fascination for running begin? At what age did you say to yourself, this is what I love to do and I want to take running seriously?
I would say probably I didn't really take running seriously. I think I just started it for fun my sophomore year of high school. Like I started freshman year track. I wasn't too I don't know. I just didn't feel. I didn't know what sport I was going to be good at. I tried soccer. I tried volleyball. I think I definitely felt like okay, I'm just doing this for fun and fitness. But I think I started taking it seriously probably like junior year, the beginning of junior year. I was like, oh, races are being really fun. That's when I started cross country. And from there, I think I just started loving it more and more. I didn't really expect to get D1 offers. Then senior year came, and I was like, oh, it's getting serious. But yeah, I think like mid junior year, I was like, oh, this is what I really want to do in college, which is a really cool experience so far.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Who was the first one to first get you into running? Who helped push you during those early days to become the tremendous athlete you are today?
I think I would say probably. I think starting off a sport, you don't really know what you're doing, but I think my high school coach, he really encouraged me to keep going because I think when you first start off, you feel kind of insecure compared to like every other runner, and I think my coach really helped me stop the comparison, and it just made me really understand the sport more and loving it as a team, having fun. He always would tell me that I would do better when I would just race out there with like a smile on my face. So I think definitely my coach and my friends from freshman year.
Were there any track athletes, men or women, that you idolized and you try to pattern your running style and form after?
I think one of my first idols was actually Jessica Cole. She's an Australian Olympic runner. She's phenomenal, and she always had like a big smile on her face. And even then, I check on her Instagram. She's always posting about how fun she's having. So I think Jessica Cole for sure.
Oh, that's great. Who's been the biggest inspiration and influences throughout your career?
Um, Throughout my career, I would say Um, even though my parents don't really know much about running, I think they definitely have been a huge factor. Not a lot of people know this, but my mom was dealing with cancer like when I first started doing really good in my racing. And I think just having parents that really are strong and they've always been able to come out from like the worst to going up above. So I think just having my parents to like be inspired by has really helped me.
That's great. And I'm glad she's doing well, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you play any other sports growing up that helped you with your great exploits and achievements on the track field?
I wouldn't say it helped. Well, I wasn't really good at soccer or volleyball, but I think those two sports for sure got me stronger in endurance. Well, soccer for sure. I think every runner starts off with soccer. It's kind of funny, but I wasn't like good at all. I just did it for fun because my grandpa was like a soccer star in Mexico. So I think just having fun running during soccer, I think that got me into it.
Yeah, soccer or basketball. Don't forget basketball. That's my sport.
Um,
Yeah, basketball is my sport.
that was like my brother's sport, but I definitely I don't have
Yeah.
the hops, and even though I'm tall, people actually like would ask me like, "Oh, do you want to be a basketball player like your brother?" And I'd be like, "No."
How
I'm
tall
not.
are you, by the way?
I'm 5'7.5". I honestly think I'm 5'8" now. Not sure. I haven't
Okay.
checked, but around that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm 6'2", 6'3", so yeah. So you attended Colonel Mitchell High Middle School. Describe your time there and what did you learn about yourself as you prepared for high school?
Um, I don't know. I don't see myself being the girl I was in middle school. I think I was completely different. I think I was for sure more mature, and I feel like everybody goes through mature phases. But I definitely had a lot of fun with one of my best friends, Emily. We did so much together. I think every day we were up and about, like after school. We would always either walk to her apartments or we would go stuff. We would just do a lot of stuff in my community or hang out with her. But yeah, I think I was going to the gym, just doing speed and like weights. So I think I definitely got into fitness around that area. But other than that, I think it was just really fun.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I remember in middle school, man, what was I doing in middle school? Yeah, I was playing modified basketball for middle school in eighth grade before eventually playing basketball at high school in North Rockland, and I did track as well. I did it sophomore year, but I tore my ACL fortunately, so I couldn't do it my junior year. That's the only reason I
Oh,
stopped doing track because I tore my ACL, and your knee's not really the same, and the demand on your
right.
knee. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I just stuck to basketball because that was my main sport. That's what I really loved. So I stuck to basketball.
Hmm.
Now you told me you didn't start really running until on a team until high school, where you attended Shadow Hills, running for Coach Richie Detamble and Coach Santez. What did you learn from them, and how did they help you grow as an athlete and person during your high school years?
I think so. I first had started off freshman year 400 runner, and then quarantine happened. I think having I think you don't really get close with your coach unless they really connect with you. Like just asking. I think our coach has been really good at Shadow Hills, being able to connect with every athlete. Like it's insane to me how many athletes there is, and he has found a way to connect with every single one of them. He's never been the one to have favorites. I think people can sometimes be like, oh, were they your favorites? And it's like, no, he kind of would communicate with everybody how they're feeling at every practice. So I think Coach Detamble has really impacted me in that, just asking me how I feel. Sometimes there would be days where I felt like I had to be like the older sister to the younger ones. So I felt like if I was having a bad day, I was always like very like frustrated with my own self. But I think having my younger teammates, just I think we were a family. I really got close with the girls at the end. Sometimes we would get really competitive in like 400s and stuff like that. And I was always like the slowest when it came to 400s because as a
Yeah.
distance runner, I feel like I've been more stronger in like the more mile repeats or having longer tempos and stuff like that. But I think Coach Detamble and Coach Sanchez, and Coach Reyes. We had another coach, and she actually like left like her senior. Or, I kind of forgetting. I think like senior year track. But yeah, I think having those coaches, I still keep up with our assistant coaches like Coach Sanchez and Coach Reyes because they've always been very inspiring to me, and like they're just there to help you out as like just somebody to talk to how you're feeling, and especially as female coaches I think you could really connect with them differently.
No, that's good. Yeah, you want your
Yeah.
coaches to be your family because you want to feel comfortable when you're at
Right.
practice. You want people who
Right.
know who are going to support you and stuff, and during the good times
Right.
and the bad times. And even
Yeah.
sometimes you get close enough to your coach. Like some people consider the coach as family, or to the point you could tell them some personal stuff going on in your life, and then
Right.
they'll understand. Okay, we see why you were this way in practice, or
Exactly.
you didn't have the
Yeah.
best meet or game on the field or on the court. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely great that you had that experience in high school. So I saw your TikTok. I remember a while back, and I saw you were told by doctors that you could potentially die if you kept running. What made you
Hmm.
want to defy the odds and keep pursuing what you love despite the potential terrifying outcome? How did you do it?
Um, so I had been running for a long time, not a long time, but I mean like during quarantine, I was repetitively running many miles, and I was under fueling for sure. I think runners sometimes don't have somebody to tell them, hey, you need to eat more than your friends that are not doing anything or like not doing anything, but like not exercising as much as you are. And I think I would compare myself too much to my best friends who were eating minimal amount of food, and I think with the high activity that I was doing, I was running. Not everybody runs 10 miles once they wake up. Not everybody runs 8 miles once they wake up. So, and even then, I was pushing 14 miles sometimes, like out of random because I was bored. And obviously, during quarantine, you're not doing anything. So, you
Yeah.
just go out and do it. So, I think just having doctors that would consistently tell, like, my parents took so much time to out of their day to because they were like worried about me because I was getting thinner and thinner. And I think I just needed somebody to tell me, hey, like you can keep doing this as long as you eat more food. And I feel like in my mind that was I will never do that. I will never want to gain weight. I never want to go back to the person I was before. And I think it was just a toxic mindset, just comparing yourself too much. I think comparison is obviously the devil in every like it's
Yep.
literally the devil. But I think just the feeling running gives me is just something out of this world. Like it literally makes you gain confidence. It makes you feel just good about yourself because you completed something. And I think just having doctors consistently tell me that, oh, if you, like, you're gonna literally die if you continue running, all I needed was to hear. I feel like that honestly pushed me harder to prove them wrong that I could continue running. And a lot of people thought I was, like, just being dramatic, but I'm not even joking. I literally went to the doctors, and they were like, do you know what you're doing to yourself? And I'm like, no, like, I really don't. I'm so, like, I felt like I was getting in trouble, and I feel like as a person that one day wants to become somebody that's PA or registered nurse, I feel like if I ever saw somebody going through that, I would want to help them and just make them feel better about themselves, because the person that's going through that is like really just torturing their own self without knowing it. So I think just having the perspective of a doctor, I was like, okay, like this makes me happy. So if I need to find a way, I just started doing a whole bunch of research of what I'm supposed to eat. And I just started, obviously, I was a vegetarian, vegan for a long time. And I think I just started finding ways to incorporate. I started eating a lot of protein bars, a lot of protein shakes to gain that weight back. So yeah, basically.
Well, that's good. Yeah, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah,
You will
it
drive
is.
yourself crazy if you keep
Yeah,
trying to compare yourselves to others, whether they're above you or whatever, or below you, whatever. Don't
right,
just worry about yourself. Try to be better than you were yesterday or last
right.
year. That get like Kobe Bryant said, get 1% better every day.
Yes,
All you
yeah,
can ask for yourself. Just be the best you can be, and then just live with the results. As long as you know you're
right.
trying your best, you could be at ease at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. When I saw that TikTok, I'm like, wait, doctors told her she could die, and then you go on to break the records that we're gonna get into eventually. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that is insane. I'm like, you should be really proud of yourself.
Thank you.
So before we get into some of your phenomenal achievements, you started high school in 2019-20, where COVID-19 hit the world, spring of your freshman year at high school. How did the pandemic impact you mentally and physically at such a young age? And what did you take away or learn about yourself during such a polarizing time in our country's history?
The pandemic was really hard. I think that I was so used to seeing my friends all the time. I was so used to going out all the time. Like, not going out to party or like do all any of that stuff. I was just so used to hang out, going to the movies, going to the mall. I think the pandemic really hit me hard because I'm such a social person. I like to hang out with people. I like to talk to people. And I think just being hidden from being able to grocery shop with my mom and stuff, do all these little things. My mom loves being home, but I'm definitely not like that. So at first, she didn't really see what was going on with me as I started struggling more and more. I definitely feel like I hit like rock bottom. Definitely just over exercising, under fueling. It was really rough, but I think I had a mom who knew how to cure yourself naturally instead of going to get a COVID shot and stuff like that. My dad is diabetic, so he did get it immediately. But I think having parents that naturally know how to cure one another, I think I've always been able to stay healthy. So I'm really thankful for that because I have parents that know how to maintain yourself healthy. And my mom and I really like. I think I discovered more about nutrition ever. So I'm grateful for the pandemic, but I know I went through a lot during that time. But I think I definitely am grateful because I got to learn a lot from it, and I wouldn't be the person I am today.
That's great. Did you pick up any like new skills or anything during that time? Any new hobbies?
Um, I think I started cooking a
Oh, that's
lot
good.
more, and baking. So I think I learned that a lot, and I love to read now. Actually, I've always loved to read, but I think I started picking it up again.
That's
Yeah.
good. What do you know how to cook?
I was cooking a lot of like vegan dishes, like for my mom and I, or like my parents. I remember actually learning a lot more about Thanksgiving food. So we couldn't really go out. We're not a huge tradition family, but I think during that time I was like, "Ooh, let's get to cooking." So I learned how to
Yeah.
make mashed potatoes and stuff like that. And I just like started making like vegan dishes of like. So I did like this vegan meatloaf. So that's stuff.
Hey, that's amazing. That's awesome to hear. Someone as young as you knowing how to cook. That's good. When we
Yeah.
finish our interview here today, I'm actually gonna be cooking myself. So, so what workouts do you do to be in such incredible shape and do the things you do at such a pristine level?
Hmm. I think. Mm, let's see. I really enjoy fartleks. I think those are definitely my favorite type of workout because I kind of hate tempos now just because you get kind of I don't know how to explain it, but I think the thought of tempoing feels
Yeah.
very long because you have to maintain a pace for such a long time. You're like, what if I start to feel terrible? But I think for sure fartleks because you can either go 1 minute hard, 1 minute off, and then you have that time to rest a little bit, but you're still running. And the thing I feel like I love repeats, but I also don't because you have to stop. And I think fartleks is like the perfect in between. So yeah.
That's great. So let's get into your high school career a little bit. So in 2021, you won the 2021 Desert Empire League, also known as the DEL, cross country 3 mile title with a then school record time of 18:04.02. I saw you had a lot of school records for Shadow Hills.
Yeah.
You have a lot of school records. I think you still have the record for this, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But what was going through your mind as you were running, and what was your mental approach heading into that event?
I don't know. Okay, so I had actually talked to my coaches about that breaking the record. I think like I remember like when I first wanted to aim for it. I'm
Mhm.
really close to the old record breaker Naya Chavez. I really looked up to her. I think when I went back into running again. I think sophomore year, COVID year track. I had talked to my coaches like maybe I could do this record, and my coach was like, yeah, it's you're capable of doing it, like why not? And I think at first when you're close to the person who had broken before, you're like, I'm sorry if I break it, but she was like, no, go for it, like literally like do the best you can, like you got this. And she was very inspiring and encouraging. So I think just having coaches that like definitely helped me get to that point to breaking them. And I my senior year cross country was phenomenal. Like I think that's like my favorite year of running ever because I got to run with such incredible high end runners that probably are now are like in University of Oregon, which is one of the biggest distance programs. I definitely didn't want to leave California. I'm very close to my family, my friends, my boyfriend, my dogs. I have 7 dogs, so it would be very hard to leave them. But I think just being able to work with such high end runners and I think breaking records multiple times senior year just like made me really happy, and it definitely made me want to push myself more and more every race. But even when I wasn't able to, I was very happy with the memories.
It's kind of insane how you were breaking all these records, and I know you said you told me you didn't really start running track until high school, which is like wow.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, that's amazing.
very shocking, very shocking to me. Yeah.
So you continue to push the envelope of what you can do, breaking your own cross-country 3-mile record, repeating as the DEL cross-country 3-mile title winner with a personal best again in 2022 with a time of 17:32.4 on November 2nd of that season. What was going through your mind after repeating as the back-to-back 3-mile Desert Empire League cross-country champion?
Hmm. I
Back-to-back?
would
Crazy.
I would be lying. I would be lying if I said I was proud of myself every time because I really wasn't. I think as we mentioned, comparison is the thief of joy. I remember I broke a record. I literally PR'd and I broke a record and I started crying to my parents, or not to my parents, but I even to like I cried at the finish line because I didn't break 17. And
Mm.
after I didn't break 17, and that was like my last kind of. It's because when you go to cross country courses, you're like, oh, this course is fast. You feel good. And I really felt like I could break 17. And a lot of the high end runners were breaking 17, even younger girls than me. And I remember just really feeling insecure because I didn't break this. Like, I didn't break 17. And my coach was like, are you joking? I have to take a picture of you literally breaking another school record and you're crying. Like, I was just upset at myself. So I definitely can't say I was like super proud of myself every time, but I was really, I think I look back now and I'm like, why didn't I just give that love to my teammates as well? Because my teammates always were very supportive over me. I would have interviews and they were always just really happy for me, like, oh my god, like being so happy for me. There was this one interview where my teammates ran up to me and they hugged me, and I think having really good teammates, I like look back and I think more of that than crying about not breaking not breaking 17. But other than that, I think I was definitely not the happiest, but I wish I was more confident about it before.
Hey, at least as long as you do it now, that's all that matters. As long as you're
Yeah.
happy with your accomplishments, you gotta
Yeah.
celebrate the little wins sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
So you bested your 3-mile record again with a PR 17:06.2. You almost getting close to breaking your 17
Yeah.
record.
Yeah.
Placing fourth at the 2022 ASICS Temecula Twilight meet on October 1st that season. You placed ninth at the CIF California Cross Country Championships with a 5K PR of 18:11 on November 26th of that year. What is it about you and your resiliency to continue to strive for excellence and raise the bar for yourself?
I think, I don't know, I think I look back and I think most more of that than crying about not breaking. I think I was definitely not the happiest, but I wish I was more confident about it before. just seeing, I think it's like the same as like when you hit a PR at the gym or any of that stuff. I feel like it's like the same as that. You see results. I think seeing results made me want to work harder and push myself harder. I think track and cross country are definitely like a just a competition between yourself and your mindset and your body to see what's the most you could do. So yeah.
So with an abundance of success before your senior season of high school, what was your mindset as you approached your final lap in high school? Did you set any goals for yourself heading into your senior year?
I think the last track competition I had, I wasn't very happy because okay, so first it was like the end of DEL, and I think I was very hard on myself. I had been going through it a lot with my grades, like everything, just leaving high school. I think it all just hit me hard, and I don't think I performed the way I wanted to at the end. And I really had the stress of an 800 when I'm not even an 800 runner, and I think I should have been more, I don't know, appreciative of the time. And I definitely got the best opportunity to race at Nike Outdoor Nationals. The only issue is my coach was not in town to be training me, and that is like I that was probably the worst decision I could have made for myself, because if my coach wasn't going to be here, how was I going to be ready for it? And he that was his break time, mind you. My coach would probably work overtime just for me, like to help me out. I would always like just ask him like, can you coach me for this race? Can you coach me for this race? And I definitely made him work overtime. But I think I should have gone to Nike Outdoor Nationals just more prep than I was. But I definitely was happy to have been able to accomplish so much in such a little time.
That's great. Your senior year, you proved to be Wonder Woman. You ran a 3,000 meter best of 10:01.91 and a 3,200 meter best of 10:30.4, placing 8th at the prestigious 2023 Arcadia Invitational, considered the home of national records and the most competitive high school meet in the country. How did it feel to be amongst the 10 best of your respective events countrywide while breaking the Desert Empire record? 3,000, 3,200 meters, that is a lot of laps. I can't do that.
I loved Arcadia. Arcadia forever will remain like my favorite meet ever. I think we talked about it my sophomore year. My coach was like telling me, oh yeah, Arcadia is like one of the biggest races, and you should aim towards hitting the standard for it. And I look back now and I'm like, I can't believe I never thought I could have made it, because I don't know, I would underestimate myself for sure. And I still do, but I definitely just know I have to keep myself like just humble down to just like think like, okay, this is what I have to do to get there. And right now, obviously, I'm not in like the best position, but I think just thinking about the past, I'm like, oh, like I still can't believe that I got to that point. But Arcadia was just super fun. Having my teammates there for the 4x1600, that was so fun, because I ran the 3200. I was really happy, off of endorphins, and right off after I got off the line, it was already time for the 1600. So I got off the line at 3200. I'm like really happy, really excited, and then my teammates are like already ready for the 4x1600. My coach did think of me, and he was like, okay, we're gonna put you as the last person, like as the end of the 4x1600. But I think just running such a good PR after that, I was just super excited to run the relay, and then we medaled, and I thought that was like the best experience ever.
Oh, that's great. It's good that he put you at the end so you can catch your breath at the 3,200 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because trying to do a 3,200 meter and then go right, being the first one to start off, 1,600, that is too much.
Yeah.
Too much. So you later went on to run a 10:52.33 to win the CIF-SS Division 2 3,200 meter title. If you could put your historic, fabulous... Oh, wait, no, that's college. Oh, that's college you did that, right? The CIF?
No, that's high school.
That's high school? Okay.
Yeah.
If you could put your your career into words, how do you describe it?
I don't know. Let's see.
Because your high school accolades, as we read it here: 2-time Desert Empire Elite Cross Country 3-mile champion, ran a 3-mile school record of 17:06.2 at the ASICS Temecula Twilight meet, finished 9th at the 2022 CIF State Cross Country Championships, won the CIF-Southern Section Division 2 title in the 3,200 meter on the track. That's amazing.
I would say probably just, I don't know. I would say like between unreal, because I don't even think about, like, back then I probably, I until you say all of that, I would say unreal, and very overwhelming in a good way. Just like thinking about it, it's very shocking to me now. I think it was definitely unreal.
I saw you were on one of the local news channels your senior year. They were like, this
Yeah.
phenom, Marjourie Lopez. And
Yeah.
how did it feel to get like interviewed on that type of stage? That's big time.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see it as that big because our town's so small that I saw it like, okay, like every good athlete, like every, I don't know. I didn't see it that big because I feel like our town is so small. But then I do see it like, oh, like that is a really cool thing to do. I think it was really fun because I got to connect with um, with one of the news channel interviewers, and she's phenomenal. She's a great interviewer. So I know she watches my Instagram, so shout out to her.
That's great. So it's now time to choose a college where you choose to attend USC your freshman year to run for the Trojans. What stood out to you about them, and what other colleges were you considering at that time?
Um, the top two I was considering running at was USC and UC Berkeley. I think I connected a lot with the UC Berkeley girls, and to this day, I I'm very supportive over them what they're doing in their team because they're definitely very connected and united. So I did see the connection that they had, but I chose USC. One thing is because I don't know, it was very prestigious in my head. Like I just like going to the rivalry of UCLA was like such a dream because I for sure wanted to go to UCLA, and to this day that was like my dream school. So I think going to USC just opened up my eyes about LA and stuff. And it was just a really cool. I just thought being LA, and I feel like I'm such a Southern California girl. Like I get cold very easily, so going to North Cal would be freezing for me. And just being able to, I wanted to be a part of the building of cross country at USC. So that was pretty much why I made that decision.
So you were coached by Jebreh Harris your freshman year at USC. How much did you learn from him on and off the track field?
I think Coach Karras was very I love that he was strict about things. I definitely feel that he and I had like like sometimes we just have some miscommunications about, like, it was just he was just trying to understand me. So as a runner, I feel like you can't really get to know somebody until after a year. And it was funny because I just saw him. He transferred as well from USC to Azusa Pacific. And I actually just started talking to him again, and I was just like, no, like, thank you for being a really good coach. I think you did amazing just being able to understand me and trying to talk to me about certain things. And he was I think not a lot of people will know about him once they talk with him because they can see him as very serious because he always had a serious face. But I definitely do think he's a very funny person.
Oh, that's
But yeah,
great.
he was always very encouraging.
That's good. So you broke 2 freshman records in your first year as a Trojan. Fabulous freshman. Fabulous freshman, excuse me. From the 10,000 meters at the Mount SAC Relays, finishing with a 36:32.25 time, 5th in USC history, to breaking the 3,000 meter record with a 10:13.12 time, 3rd in USC history. For someone who's not new to breaking records, having done it numerous times in high school, did it mean any more to do it at the Division I level against even faster collegiate athletes?
It was definitely very. I saw those times, and I at first was like, "Ooh, I really like. I think this is doable if I've done it before." But I think when you go to college, I think your body is just so different, and I feel like at first I thought it was gonna be so much easier than I expected it. Like I thought it was gonna be really easy, but I think you just have to adapt to you're in college now, so it won't be that easy to PR. And hopefully being at UCI, I can definitely be able to do PRs because I know that this coach he has proven to change a lot of people's time. So I think being at USC, I was definitely underwhelmed how I performed. Even though I did break those records, I definitely felt underwhelmed because that's not the PRs that I wanted. And I definitely am very grateful for the time I spent there, but I don't think I performed the best I could have.
Well, what kind of PRs, what times, or what do you say you'd be satisfied with? For
Well, for the 3K, I just really wanted to go sub 10. I think that's really doable for a lot of high school girls now. So obviously, I shouldn't compare myself to that, but I think I definitely could break 10 eventually. I don't know. I think just being a freshman, I don't know. I think I just really was excited to break records, but I
yeah,
don't think I correctly trained for it.
you third in USC history. I mean, you did pretty good for someone who didn't train for it for
Thank
the
you.
3K, and then
Thank you.
fifth in USC history for the 10,000 meter. That's pretty insane. 3,000 meters. How many laps is that around the track? Like what? Eight,
That's like 7.5.
7.5, right? Oh, because I know eight is 3,200.
Yeah.
Okay, and at 10,000, I don't even. Gosh, that is.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of labs.
Yeah, that's what
A lot of laps for sure.
a lot. That's yeah. That's over 10 laps, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Hey, I don't know how you're superhuman. So you decided to leave USC to transfer to University of California, Irvine, in the Big West for your sophomore year. What went into your decision to depart from USC?
I departed from USC not because of anything like towards the team or academics. It was literally just because I I didn't want I don't know. It's very expensive. That's all I have to say. It's very expensive. Um I told my teammates like I am not leaving because I want to. It's literally just because of how expensive it is, and they do not give scholarships to distance athletes unless you're like number one in the nation, top five in the nation. So even my coach was struggling recruiting girls because they can't get scholarships. They can't give it to them, even though they worked their butt off even during high school. So I think I just decided to leave because I just wanted to have a smarter way of living with
Yeah.
how expensive it is. I didn't want my dad to be paying that much for college.
Yeah. No, that's great. It's great that you think of him in mind as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're now at a new school on a full scholarship and still in your hometown area in California. What's it been like thus far at a new school and new culture at UC-Irvine under Coach Care?
It's been super fun. I think the girls are very sweet. They're very fun to be with. I'm able to talk to them so much about everything. Just like, and I feel like I have girls that I'm able to run a lot of mileage with, and able to hit my mileage for the week. And it's very fun so far.
That's
And we
great.
just had our first meet, and it's so fun to run in a pack. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Who are some of the greatest teammates you've had at the high school level and collegiately?
I would say so. Two of my favorite, like they're like I see them like my little sisters because I love like still catching up with them. And one of them is at Cal East Bay, which is Miranda, and Ruby and Julia, because we were a 4x1600 meter, so they've been super fun to work with. So yeah, I definitely always wish them the best, and I'm always like asking them how they feel and stuff. But yeah, um. And last year, I had two teammates that I really had a lot of fun. Well, I feel like I got really close with my two teammates, which were Leot and Lucia, and they were just super. They're super fun to just talk to, and I still catch up with them. And as well, Marnie and Jackie were like my older sisters. I saw them a lot, like my older sisters. So that was fun.
That's great. What are your goals as the season progresses?
My goals are definitely my own goals. I don't really necessarily care about the records right now because I
Yeah.
just had surgery this summer, so I feel like right now I'm a little bit behind on the training, but I definitely want to have higher standards for myself for my PR. So for sure, I just want to for the 6K aim around low 21s or under 21, and for the 5K for sure go sub 17:30. I feel like that's very doable, and just I really hope as the UC Irvine team we're really strong this year. So my biggest goal with them is to win the Big West championships for cross country.
Oh, love that. Ambitious. We love that. Aiming high. We love that here on the Indio
Yeah.
Sports.
I just have really high standards for our team. Like they're super like
Yeah,
my
you guys are
team is
stacked
really
this year.
passionate.
Very stacked.
Yeah, very stacked. Yeah, like we had like a time trial, and I'm really close with one of the freshmen, Cynthia and Daisy. They're super fast. It's literally freshmen. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And what did he have surgery on? You say he had surgery?
Yeah, on my nose. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was part cosmetic, and as well they did mention that my nose is like one of my nostrils was like really not breathing well, so also as well.
What's going to help you with your running on the track field?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. Now, you ready for some quick hitters?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the biggest pivot moment of your life, good or bad, that has changed the course of this journey you've been on in your life?
The
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 biggest pivot moment of your life, good or bad, that's brought you on this journey that you have been on.
biggest moment.
That moment that changed your life, like, oh, okay, this is what
The
brought me where I am today.
Oh, that's really hard. Okay. The moment that's changed my life. I I
Could
don't
be
know. I
something
feel like
good or bad.
I feel like I've had so many, but for sure just being considered anorexic to being able to prove wrong that I was able to get stronger. That's one of the biggest things that's changed my life.
Hmm. What makes a great athlete to you?
Um, I would say um somebody that has empathy and love for their teammates. I think you can't be a strong person without showing love to the people who give love to you.
Hmm. What keeps you motivated? What's your why?
I would say my why is um hmm
Makes you think.
I don't know. This is very like hard, but I would say probably the circle I have right now. I think I have a really small circle right now, having really great parents, having three best friends and one boyfriend, I think. And my dog, Clifford, he is one of the biggest, closest things to me. He means a lot to me. So I think just the small circle that I have around me right now, they're super supportive, and I wouldn't be myself without them.
Favorite pre-meet meal?
Um, Premium meal. I would say I honestly was such an oatmeal person before, but I could say that honestly did not probably help me because of the fiber. But I would say now like rice cakes are like a PB and J.
Hmm. What's a typical meet day routine for you?
Okay, if it's morning, then I love to get ready. Like, I do not care what anybody says. Why are you wearing makeup to a race? I think if you feel confident, I think that should be your routine. So I usually just wake up, do my morning routine, like obviously brush your teeth, wash your face, and make sure your hair looks good. And wear. I love bows. I will always love bows. So I wear a bow and get my makeup done and just something else. I'm not even sponsored by them, but I usually like to drink like a little bit of an energy drink before. Not always, but I like to always have it in Alani. So yeah.
Ooh, nice. Favorite hobbies outside of track?
I love to bake. And I love to read, and for sure, spend quality time with my dog Clifford.
That's great. Any specific foods you like to bake more than others?
I like making a lot of banana bread. I love making yogurt bowls a lot as well. That's like my biggest thing. Something else. Mm, it's another thing I like to cook or bake. I would say
And
that for now.
potatoes. And any books that stand out to you that you read throughout your years? Like, oh, this is the book like you would recommend to somebody.
Oh, Atomic Habits for sure. I'm a huge fiction person,
Okay.
but I'm starting to read more nonfiction books because my mom always like encourages that. So I for sure Atomic Habits.
Oh, that's nice. So
Yeah.
I know you're a D1 athlete and you have a chance to get NIL deals. Any merch or anything you got? You or any companies you sponsor with currently?
Currently, so last year I worked as an ambassador for Misfits Health. I know that they were trying to get a collegiate ambassador program going on, but I was with them for a bit and I love their protein bars. Um, Current NIL deals, I just had one with like jerky sticks. and I haven't even published it yet, but soon I will. But I love getting merch because I'm also able to give them to like my friends, my family, and my teammates. So I think that's really fun. But also, free stuff is always cool.
No, that's great. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And you get paid for it too, so that's good.
Oh, and I actually just became an ambassador for Gym Weed, which is an energy drink. So I'm really excited to work with them.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Biggest life lesson sports has taught you that's helped you in life?
Um, Probably my biggest life lesson would probably to not let comparison ruin your happiness and just having confidence with yourself. I think once you have confidence with yourself, you're able to be a light to everybody else.
Ooh, that was a great answer.
Thank you.
Favorite music artist of all time? You can name like 5. You don't have to name 3.
Okay, yeah, I definitely have okay. I would say I'm a huge reggaeton person, so for sure Raúl Alejandro, and I will always be an Ariana Grande fan. Yeah.
Oh, just those?
And like for hip hop, probably Travis Scott or John Tolliver.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
some good
Yeah.
answers right there. Name your top 5 track athletes of all time, if you can name 5.
Sydney McLaughlin for sure.
I was watching that. Did you see when she does blue? She broke open the what was that? The 4x400. She
She's
just gone.
insane.
Oh,
Insane.
I was like, I was witnessing live. I was in the barbershop. I was
Yeah,
like, this
for
is one of the
sure.
greatest. This is one of the greatest athletic performances I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of female like runners that I look up to a lot. Um, for sure, my second person obviously Jessica Hull. She's a very great distance athlete. Third would be she just made the Olympics this year, and I'm so proud of her. I hope she sees this podcast because I love her. Jasmine Jones. She was my USC teammate. She made it to Olympics this year for the
Nice.
400-meter hurdles. Yeah,
That's
she represented USA, and I think she's an incredible human being. Like talking to her, she loves reading as well, and she loves like coffee. So she's a huge idol to me as well. But I would say I have those top 3 favorites. I know there's I follow a lot of distance athletes, but I feel like those top 3 stand out to me.
That's awesome. And congrats to your teammate too. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. She's phenomenal.
Who's Marjourie Lopez? How would someone describe her?
Let's see. I would say I don't know. I'm definitely very chatty, for sure. I'm a huge yapper. I could either say I'm a huge yapper, or just I feel like I always try to find the positivity in something. I feel like if you see me as a negative person, then you probably do not talk to me a lot,
Yeah,
or you catch me in a really bad moment. But I would say I'm a huge I feel like my boyfriend would probably say I'm a huge lover girl. I feel like I think I love to give presents a lot. So yeah.
So you're a giver to
Just
people.
yeah. I feel like
Man.
I'm a huge people person as well.
Yeah. Hey, that time of year is coming. Christmas is almost here.
Yeah.
We'll be playing the Christmas carols soon, man. What are your goals in life?
My goals in life. Oh, for sure. I want to be able to give back to my parents. I think they've done so much for me. So for sure, I want to become like a millionaire one day. Just be able to buy them a house.
Hey, we
I
all
think
do.
my
We all
dad
do.
always. I think my dad always laughs about this. He will always like every time I say like, "Oh, this is my goal one day. This is my future." He's like, "So, what are you gonna give us?" Like just as a joke. But I think for sure, just being able to give back to my parents and just have a loving family in the future, and having a bunch of animals. I'm a huge. Oh, that's another thing. I'm a huge dog lover, animal person in general. Um, yeah, but I feel like if I had one wish, it would be to help as many animals as I could, get them off the streets if they need help. And, but yeah, and also for sure, I really want to become an RN or a PA.
Oh, that's great. We love the goals. I'm here, loving what I'm hearing over here, man.
Thank you.
Who do you like to see on the show? But you have to help me get them on. I have one person in mind who you mentioned earlier.
Wait, Oh, to
Who
get
do you
on.
like to see on
Oh,
the podcast interview?
yeah.
We have
I
to have you
think
get them on.
Jasmine Jones.
Yep, it's just what I was thinking.
Inspiring person. Yeah.
And you say you're friends with her?
Yeah, I am.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Olympian. I would love to have that on the show. Yeah, you gotta help me make that
For
happen.
sure. Yeah, I think she's a very kind person. So I think we're not like super close, but
Yeah,
I definitely do reach out to her to tell her like she's phenomenal. Yeah.
well, that's great. Yeah, and we'll see if we can try to make that happen. Last question. I always love to ask my guests before we close it out. When people think of the name Marjourie Lopez, what do you want your legacy to be?
What do I? Sorry.
When people think of the name Marjourie Lopez, what do you want your legacy to be?
I really just hope they see me as a inspiring or just a caring person.
Oh, that's great. Hey. Yeah, I know that question sometimes throws some people off. They're like, oh, man, that's a good question. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
I hope they think I'm funny. I'm not funny, but I feel like I wish I wish I was funnier. But I would say just a person they feel they can talk to, trustworthy. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Oh, Marjorie, this has been great. How you feeling? Your first ever interview.
I'm feeling great. I don't know. I think I would love to be a podcast person as well. So I feel great. Yeah.
You feel you got the nerves out, right? I know you were nervous
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
See, I told you, just be yourself.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here on DJ Sports Show with the record breaker and one and only Marjourie Lopez. It's been your host, DJ Hamilton, here at DJ Sports Show, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
That guy's always late, and I haven't seen him either. Oh!
Hey, it's Capper.
Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move.
We're on the move.
Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the groove.
We're on the groove.
All right. Hey, I was getting loose. What you guys think?
7. We're on? I didn't know we're on. You gotta tell me, fellas. I'm here with 2 physical specimens from the Northeast Conference, a couple of real studs. These guys are slapped together. Unbelievable. 2 of the top NEC players, Kennedy Okafor from UMBC and Chris Ekway from FDU. And Chris, I gotta start with you. You're from Cameroon. There's been a number of Cameroonian players here in the Northeast Conference. What's the connection with basketball in Cameroon? It's very popular, huh?
Yeah, basketball is very popular in Cameroon. You have a lot of talent in Cameroon, but we're lacking facilities, you know. That's the appeal I'm making. I'm taking this opportunity to make an appeal to...
I like that. Good job by you, pal. Support Cameroon basketball. All right.
Roses are red.
Violets are blue.
When I dunk.
I think of you.
Wow. Unbelievable. Another beautiful... I smell an Emmy. Well, you guys saw me slamming some steel, working the pythons a little bit. Pretty buff, huh? What do you think? What do you think?
To work out some more, you know?
What do you think, baby?
Kappa, it's over, all right? So, come on, you're not Schwarzenegger.
Who, Schwarzenegger? I love it. Court's adjourned.
As you know, in life and basketball, and now holding court, only the strong survive.
That would be Tim Capstraw. Tim, let's start this segment off by talking about Mikal Bridges. He tied a career-high 45 points in that overtime loss at Atlanta, and that came on the heels of being on a podcast with Taylor Rooks on Bleacher Report, saying he feels Nets fans. He's off to this slow start, but he's a guy that's always honest. And then what does he do, Cap? He comes out and drops 45.
45. I don't know how much that had to do with it, but it was great to watch with Mikal Bridges. The way he just took over in that fourth quarter. That's what you've been, hoping he had the ability to do. And I think he got the ball in his hands in certain spots. When he goes to his left and gets to that spot and he elevates up, man, you just feel like it's going down. It was so impressive to watch what he was doing. But I'm with you, though. I love the idea that he understood what the fans were thinking and wanted to deliver.
Majourie, come on out!
Thanks for coming. I love it. Did you guys call him Professor Roker? We did. Really? I'm gonna have to really work.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, DJ Hamilton, DJ Sports Show. If you're watching, if you like, subscribe, share everybody you know who loves sports. Nielsen Audio.